announced that we're not going to be doing the official clap for carers tonight nationwide. I think some people will still do it, of course, but it doesn't mean that we don't appreciate what you're doing for us, just like Andy said there.
Oh, thank you. Morning, Lorraine, and a huge thank you to Andy. That was incredibly kind. Trying to make me emotional before I go on air and speak to you, but that's incredibly kind. I think everyone across the country has been doing their best. I'm glad to give you guys a bit of an insight if I can. Yeah, so tonight is going to be the first night without having the official clap. I've had quite a few messages on my Instagram from people saying actually they're still going to clap because they want to be a part of that community feeling and be able to be in that moment with people across the street and things. But yes, we're seeing the end to it, and a little bit sad, but I completely understand why.
I know, I understand too, but I think people will still do it, to be honest with you. Now, look, we've talked about this a lot. You know, we're coming out of lockdown, different parts of the country at different sort of rates. Is there a feeling that you, because you are on the front line, you're kind of bracing yourself, you know, like hoping for the best, preparing for the worst, if indeed there is a second wave?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're all quite aware that as we come out of lockdown and some of the measures are lifted a little bit or certainly changed, the chances are we are going to probably experience somewhat of a second wave. What we want to do is keep that as low as possible so that we don't reach the peak that we did first time round. And of course we are prepared. We are making sure that we're ready for this. We just need to monitor the situation, take things slowly so that we don't see what we saw a few months ago.
No, indeed. I mean, I was talking earlier on about the protests that we saw in London, and while I completely understand, you know, feelings running high, of course they are, but that did worry me, the lack of social distancing. And not just, I mean, that's an example of it, but actually generally, I feel as if people are sort of letting their guard down a little bit, and it's maybe just a little bit too soon. And of course, you and all of your colleagues are the ones that you know, you reap the whirlwind of that. That's the thing. In fact, you got tested, didn't you, to see whether or not you had corona? You had the test this week?
Yeah, that's right. So I was actually tested earlier on in the week, and I was very surprised that I did not actually have antibodies. And the reason I say this is that I've been obviously at Lewisham throughout from the start of this. I've seen a huge number of cases both in the pods at the start outside the hospital, and there's little isolation pods, triaging patients from the ambulance and also in the hospital itself. And so I kind of thought, you know, logically I probably would have antibodies, and I didn't. And I think really what that is a testament to is how well PPE actually works. When it's used correctly, when it's available, it really does work.
Which is good news, very good news. Now, what about you and your girl? Are you able to see each other yet? Have you been able to actually spend any time? Social distancing, I can see.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been really tough, actually. You know, being real with you, Lorraine, it's been really, really tough. It's been kind of 11 weeks or something now that we haven't really seen each other properly, seen each other once from a distance. And it's really difficult, especially, you know, some of the stuff that's been going on. It's very hard not to be able to come home to your kind of partner and things. So, you know, with the antibodies, even if I had the antibodies, it wouldn't change anything right now, because having the antibodies doesn't mean that you shouldn't be following the social distancing measures the same. But it would have given me a bit of a feeling that in time there could be a bit of reassurance from having those antibodies. But yeah, we stay positive, and this won't last forever, and I'll see her soon. I
love your attitude, always love your attitude, I really do. And also what I've been really, I mean, I know you've showed some of them on the show here, but also on your YouTube channel, you know, the films that you do, sort of giving us an insight into all of the different work, and especially, it's really interesting about the paramedics, because sometimes they get a little bit forgotten about, and of course, vital role that they have.
Absolutely. Well, I'm sure you'll see in a few minutes. I spoke to John, a paramedic who's regularly at Lewisham Hospital, and they do an incredible job. In business as usual times, they're seeing very difficult things. It can be from people giving birth to people having injuries to having heart attacks, and they seem to take it in their stride. But we need to be there to support them too, because it must be really tough, especially at the moment with COVID-19. We need to support their mental health too.
No, we absolutely do. Let's have a look at what you filmed. It's a real insight. It's really good.
So I'm just going to take you over to one of the ambulances and show you what it's like in these, because they're pretty kitted out, pretty impressive machines. So I've got John here, who's a paramedic, who's very kindly letting me have a quick look into the ambulance.
So this is basically all our kits, like maternity kit, dressing pack, burns kit, most important at the moment seems to be infection kit.
So yeah, you've got all the monitoring kit here, you've got your airway bits, your O2 masks here.
So this area is clinical waste. Again, we've got wipes here.
And then this is a bag you take out on site, is that
Yeah,
right?
so this is a first response bag, primary response bag. You see, it's quite a size.
That is a big bag,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
How do you put it on your back? Do
You can,
backpack?
yeah, it fits on your back, but most of the time there, and then we've still got hands free for this, which we take in.
As you carry in. I feel that some people that should be coming to hospital are staying at home because they're afraid of coronavirus. Are you seeing people, do you think, in the community and going, actually, you've had symptoms like chest pain for a few days, you know, why haven't you maybe told us about this?
Yeah, very much so, and it's basically because they're frightened of coming in. But one thing I would say is obviously still call 999 if you're concerned. We'll always assess you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for showing me around the ambulance. It's been great to have a look and give people an insight, really, you know, into what goes on.
No problem at all, Alex.
Thanks for your hard work.
Cheers.